top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Canadian investigator to probe Adriana Young's death. More than 40 persons to be interviewed. Prime Minister Phillips admits police missteps in Adriana Young's case, commits to carrying out a full investigation. Hope is Rising nationwide prayer initiative begins Friday at midnight, and humiliated and distressed contractor sues the state for $100 million, says his constitutional rights were breached. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Thursday, May 8th edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. The government has turned to Canada for assistance with the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of Adriana Young. A single investigator is on his way to Guyana to begin working on the case. Here is more.
Because of the time period, we will definitely have to look at seeing how from a higher policy level is that we request that there be some form of international help in this matter.
Hours after that statement by Dr. Dexter Todd, the lead attorney for the Adriana Young family, the government of Guyana on Thursday announced that a retired member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police has been hired to assist in the probe of the death of Adriana Young. A statement from the Ministry of Home Affairs says Mr. Leonard McCoshen is distinguished and a trained and qualified homicide and suspicious death investigator. Apparently in possession of Mr. Coshin's CV, the Ministry of Home Affairs says Mr. Coshin has over 30 years of experience as an investigator of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and that he had spent 20 of those years attached to the Serious Crimes Branch in the Major Crimes Unit with the mandate to investigate serious, complex, and sensitive matters, mainly homicides and deaths where foul play was suspected. Quote, he has successfully supervised and coordinated over 200 homicides, kidnappings, and other serious and complex investigations, unquote. Speaking after a meeting at Ivlery, lawyers Dexter Todd and UC Anderson said the Guyana Police Force has so far failed to provide any concrete updates on the investigation surrounding the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young. A number of political parties and civil society members have already dismissed a report from President Irfan Ali that 11-year-old Adriana Young did not die from forceful drowning, and have all demanded an international probe into her death. Adriana was reported missing on Wednesday, April 23, 2025, after she visited the Doubleday Hotel with her grandmother and other relatives. Despite an initial search shortly after her disappearance, her body was not found until early Thursday morning, floating in the same pool that had been searched several times. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Prime Minister Mark Phillips has acknowledged police missteps amid nationwide protest as the government is being pressured to conduct a full and thorough investigation into the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
More than 2 weeks after the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young, which sent shockwaves across Guyana, and following an autopsy that determined she died by drowning, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips on Wednesday acknowledged that there were missteps by the Guyana Police Force in handling the situation. He noted that the ongoing investigation is aimed at uncovering all the facts surrounding the incident.
I agree that there were missteps. They would have had searches. The police would have taken action, but I will not pronounce on that on this program. What I want to assure you that the ongoing investigation would get down to the bottom of everything that occurred, including the searches, what time they were done, right, what was seized.
The Prime Minister further stated that a post-mortem examination conducted by 3 international pathologists, including one selected by the family, concluded that Adriana died from drowning.
As a government, we've already committed, and I wish to tell you that the investigation is ongoing to determine the manner of death.
He also acknowledged that the police initially released incorrect information and said the original commander involved should have verified the details before releasing such information.
The commander was relieved of his appointment immediately, and that and other actions by the commander will be part of the investigation.
During a press conference at State House last month, President Irfan Ali said the false report that Adriana had left the hotel in a car originated from a civilian working at a police control center.
From what was provided to me, in that control center, there was a civilian who was working also. And the civilian, because the control centers have civilians also, would have been the one who provided the information that was inaccurate.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Home Affairs on Thursday said that the government of Guyana has enlisted the support of Mr. Leonard McCushion, a distinguished retired officer of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. McCushion, an experienced homicide and suspicious death investigator, will assist in the ongoing probe to determine the full circumstances surrounding Adriana Young's death. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, the state will now have to answer following the filing of a $100 million lawsuit for wrongful arrest and detention. The case stems from an initial police report on the disappearance of Adriana Young. Here is more. The state has been slapped with a $100 million lawsuit by the driver of the car who was arrested in connection with the Guyana Police Force's official account that 11-year-old Adriana Young was seen on April 23 entering the vehicle he was driving. Through his attorney Darren Wade, Dion Mario Jeffrey is suing for false arrest and wrongful detention in violation of Guyana's constitution. In court documents seen by Nightly News, Jeffrey says he was stopped by police at about 6:15 a.m. on April 24 and taken to the Lagrange police station, where he was held in custody until about 6:30 p.m. Mr. Jeffrey argues that the arrest and detention constituted a breach of his constitutional rights, including 1. the right to equal protection under the law, 2. the right to liberty, and 3. the right to freedom of movement. The contractor argues that as a direct result of the arrest and media reports, he lost 2 construction contracts, one valued at $500,000 for drainage works in Parfait Harmony, and another worth $275,000 for interior works at the Schoonard housing scheme. The Guyana Police Force on April 24 acknowledged that there were inaccuracies in its original statement on the disappearance of 11-year-old Young, who was later found dead in a Tushen hotel pool. The original police statement had said that Young was traced to a red and black Ram, which was heading in the direction of Reading Hoop. A review of nearby CCTV proved that the child never left the hotel. Mr. Jeffrey also said in the court documents that the police had no reasonable or lawful grounds for his arrest and detention, and he was not involved in any criminal activity, and states that this was the first time he was ever arrested. The respondent is the Attorney General, Anil Nandlal. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate Mom, because to us, she's so much more.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
With 70% ethyl alcohol, Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer eliminates 99.99% of all germs and even moisturizes in the process, leaving your skin clean and hydrated. Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer. How do you stay clean?
Krishna Roth Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field and hydraulic hoses. Us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roth Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
HGP Nightly News. We will tell you now that General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic, Barra Jagdeo, has made it clear that no special treatment will be given to anyone who is guilty of inciting violence or acts which constitute terrorism.
Attorney at Law Dr. Dexter Todd believes that the police erred in differentiating between persons involved in criminal activities and an innocent civilian when they arrested more than 100 persons during the recent unrest following the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young.
When you listen to the young men, if you listen to what was discussed with them from the police level, it was not discussed in terms of, okay, I have video footage of you taking objects, burning road. I have video footage of you costing. This was not discussed.
However, General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic, Barra Jagdeo, defended the government's position, saying that persons arrested were guilty of committing these acts. At a press conference on Thursday, he posited that there is no special treatment for anyone guilty of inciting violence.
But the majority of those people who are charged and before the court, there are video evidence of their transgressions.
The Guyana Police Force arrested more than 100 individuals within the past 24 hours for various offenses amid widespread unrest sparked by public outrage over the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young.
They have to be dealt with in a single way, with the full force of the law. Nobody is immune from strong legal action.
Todd said that for charges to be instituted for the acts of terrorism, a thorough investigation must be done.
No police who could have investigated any one of these charges properly. So it must mean that these persons are charged and the investigation is going on.
The attorney at law posited that the police was clearly misguided as to what constitutes acts of terrorism.
So the police, to my mind, went on a rampage, gather up a set of innocent black youths, threw them, put them before the court, and they are going to have a high-hell task to bring any type of evidence to say that these guys have committed act of terrorism. Now, I have always said, this whole act of terrorism is misused.
I am Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
A global spiritual movement is about to sweep across Guyana and the diaspora. As the clock strikes midnight on Friday, Christians from around the world will unite in 24 hours of prayer, worship, and reflection under the banner Hope is Rising. Tiana Cole is on this story.
As of 12:01 a.m. on Friday, Guyanese at home and abroad will embark on a 24-hour nationwide prayer event titled Hope is Rising. The global call to worship and intercession is being led by Guyanese American evangelist Joe Prasad, with support from international evangelist Scott Camp and Jesse Reamer. At a press conference on Thursday, At the National Cultural Center, Prasad emphasized that Hope is Rising is a spiritual, not political event aimed at healing, unity, and national restoration.
Pray and lift up that family. And so we came here in the name of God for the peace of the nation of Guyana.
The prayer marathon will feature intercessors from nearly 50 nations, including countries in Africa, Asia, Europe, the Caribbean, and the Americas. The main gathering will take place at the National Cultural Center in Georgetown, starting at 3 p.m. on Friday. However, the event will also be live-streamed globally, allowing individuals to participate from their homes, churches, or via self-organized Zoom meetings.
Every nation, every region, it's a call for prayer, worship, and we're going to make not that we are here for is not the answer only. It's one of the answers. Hope is Rising is not the solution. It's one of the catalysts and the platforms to help forge a great connectivity in this country.
The event has drawn international ministers and leaders, some of whom have already arrived in Guyana. Prasad reiterated that the gathering is open to all, regardless of religious persuasions. Invitations have been extended to political and governmental leaders, although the focus remains strictly on spiritual revival.
People know that God is in control of this nation and that every evil will be put to naught, and everything that was done wrong, God will bring judgment.
This 24-hour prayer session also comes at a time when the nation is mourning the tragic loss of Adriana Young, adding even greater significance to the call for healing, unity, and spiritual renewal. The event, spearheaded by Guyanese American evangelist Joe Prasad, promises to be a powerful moment of intercession and national upliftment. Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana. There is more news ahead. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
You know, I've been thinking, since I moved over to the west side, this is the perfect location for put up a food stand.
Put up food stand here?
Yes, Officer Bringer.
No, Granny, you can't put up no food stand here.
Why not?
Because the gas to energy pipeline.
Gas to energy? Why is that?
They can bring gas from offshore to Region 3, that can turn it to electricity and other things.
So what about if Granny put it up over there?
No, Granny, listen. This whole area here, from here to the West Bank, is considered the right of way. So nobody can build, plant, dig, or burn nothing here.
But what if I am?
No buts, Granny. Listen, you could get yourself or others hurt. Watch, you see this number here? You call it if you see anybody doing anything out of the way or doing anything they ain't supposed to be doing, like building, digging, or burning stuff on the right of way.
All right, grandson, I hear you.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast, and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate Mom, because to us, she's so much more.
The Ministry of Education wishes to announce that the Because We Care Cash Grant and the Uniform and School Supplies Grant will begin distribution from May 12, 2025. Please note, however, that distribution will begin later in May and in some cases June for certain regions. Therefore, we encourage all parents and guardians to consult the published distribution schedule to confirm when their grant will be available.
So, what's been given this year?
The grant has been increased to $55,000 per child. This includes $50,000 for the Because We Care cash grant and $5,000 for the uniform and school supplies grant.
Who qualifies for this grant?
All public and private school learners from nursery year 1 to grade 10 who are registered and attending school are eligible. In grade 11, only students who will register for CAPE grade 12 in September qualify, along with current grade 12 students who will be continuing to grade 13. For children entering nursery this year, they must have been registered by March 28, 2025.
How do I collect the grant?
The parent or assigned guardian of the child can uplift the grant at the child's school. Just make sure to bring a valid form of ID, your national ID card, passport, or driver's license.
What if I don't have any of those IDs?
No worries, your identity can be verified by a senior official in your community, such as the school's principal or village tusho.
Suppose I can't go myself to collect it. What then?
You can authorize someone else to collect the grant on your behalf.
What happens if I miss the date?
If you miss the scheduled date at your school, a later collection date will be announced, but this will only happen after the national distribution is completed, so it's best to collect it as scheduled if possible. Got more questions? Check the Ministry of Education's social media pages or contact your child's school for more information. In service to you, because we care.
HGP Nightly News. Air Transat is expanding its destination with a recent announcement that it will soon begin non-stop flights between Canada and Guyana. In 2024, Air Transat was voted the world's best leisure airline by Skytrax. This service will operate twice weekly, Tuesdays and Fridays. Sebastian Ponce, Transat's chief revenue officer, said with the new route, we are expanding our presence in South America while optimizing the use of our aircraft. This addition meets a strong demand from the Guyanese diaspora in Canada while also tapping into a growing market and a leisure clientele curious to discover new destinations. The flights, which are subjected to regulatory approvals, will be available for bookings within the next few days. In this Antonio Days report, a seasoned geologist with 18 years of experience has founded the artisanal small gold miners Guyana to support small miners and investors in achieving their gold mining pursuits.
John Applewhite Hercules, the principal consultant of the newly established Artisanal Small Gold Miners Guyana, ASGM, said his company aims to support current and prospective small miners and investors in achieving their gold mining investment pursuits. Given the rise in local mining fatalities, Hercules said his company would offer advice at workshops to help promote occupation health and safety.
There are certain safe mining distances that miners must adhere to. There must be a certain distance from the mine face when looking at the benching that is in the mine pit.
ASGM, which was launched on February 6 last year, is focused on helping miners understand and comply with the country's mining and environmental laws, while providing training in map reading, GPS navigation, entrepreneurship, and mineral prospecting.
If those laws are violated, miners, whether they are artisanal miners or small or medium-scale miners, can find recourse under the law to seek damage or to have a rectification of the situation.
He emphasized that successful investments depend on understanding the regulatory framework. Applewhite Hercules, who is also a lecturer at the University of Guyana, encouraged mining companies to follow the necessary health and safety rules. This, he said, will help them avoid sanctions or shutdowns of their mining operations.
The mine pit collapsed because of the impact, lateral earth pressures, groundwater flow, severe rainfall, saturation of the ground. Miner have to work smart. It has to be engineered. You must have the benching.
With 18 years of experience at the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, GGMC, culminating as director of the Guyana Mining School, Applewhite Hercules brings valuable expertise to ASGM. I am Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for your regional news.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go and go grab one. Me charge up with a Turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait, sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with Turbo can. Turbo can, Turbo can, Turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
The moment is coming. He has the ball. Will he make the shot? And he made it. Goal! This is the biggest win we've seen in ages. Feel the rush with every bet and win big. Be online at www.ibetgamesui.com.
With iBet Supreme, every game is your game. iBet to win with iBet Supreme.
Must be 18 years and older to bet.
This Mother's Day, Digicel is turning up the love and cooling things down.
Imagine surprising mom with a brand new fully stocked fridge.
Digicel is making it a reality.
You can win one of 4 fully stocked fridges
worth over $500,000.
Just top up with $1,000 or more for a chance to win weekly. It's that easy.
Top up today. The more you top up, the more chances you have to win.
Happy Mother's Day from Digicel. Better connected.
Good evening, I am Antonio De with Thursday's edition of the Regional News. To begin with news in Colombia. Colombia's Supreme Court on Wednesday issued arrest for Ivan Yame, the former president of the country's Senate, and Andres Calle, the former president of the House of Representatives, over corruption allegations. Yame of the Alianza Verde Party and Calle of the Liberal Party are accused of receiving 4 billion pesos to help secure congressional approval for key legislation under President Gustavo Petro. The accusations were made by the former officials from the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management who were already in prison as part of the ongoing probe. Both Yame and Calle have denied the charges. Yame has already been detained by police officials. As a result of the criminal proceedings, the lawmakers' congressional seats will be vacated and cannot be replaced while the legal process is underway. Over to news in Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad artist Bradley Danaram, who was charged after a social media video with threats of violence towards PNM party supporters was made in the lead-up to the general election, has been placed on a 2-year bond to keep the peace. Danaram reappeared before Superior Magistrate Gloria Jasmat on Wednesday morning for sentencing. On April 17, he was placed on bail after he entered a guilty plea to the charge of making statements to influence public opinion in a matter likely to be prejudicial to public safety. And we close with some international news. Pakistan and India accused each other of launching drone attacks on Thursday, and Islamabad's defense minister said further retaliation was quote-unquote increasingly certain on the second day of major clashes between the nuclear-armed neighbors. Pakistan said it shot down 25 drones from India, while India said its air defenses had stopped Pakistani drone and missile attacks on military targets, dashing hopes they would soon bow to pressure to end this worst confrontation in more than 2 decades. World powers from the US to Russia and China have called for calm in one of the world's most dangerous and most populated nuclear flashpoint regions. India had said it hit 9 terrorist infrastructure sites in Pakistan in retaliation for what it says was a deadly Islamabad-backed attack in Indian Kashmir on April 22nd. Pakistan says it was not involved and denies that any of the sites hit by India were militant bases. It said it shot down 5 Indian aircraft on Wednesday, and a report the Indian embassy in Beijing dismissed as misinformation. Thank you for watching. I am Antonio Day.
Canadian investigator to probe Adriana Young's death. More than 40 persons to be interviewed. Prime Minister Phillips admits police missteps in Adriana's Young case, commits to carrying out a full investigation. Hope is rising. Nationwide prayer initiative begins Friday at midnight. And humiliated and distressed contractor sues state for $100 million, says his constitutional rights were breached. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.